We are honored to share this time of remembrance with you as we reflect on the lives of those we have recently lost during a time that has made grieving all the more complicated. We've cared deeply for your loved ones, and our hearts grieve with yours. These times have been difficult, and although we are physically distant, together we can still remember and connect on a deeper and more spiritual level. Jewish healthcare is rooted in the rich traditions of the Jewish people. For this reason, some of the service will reflect these traditions. Loss and love are universal, and we've also included a number of songs and readings from other spiritual and faith traditions. It is our sincere hope that these words and music bring some comfort and peace to those sacred places that we all share.
A reading adapted from Judy Kellman. When we come together for healing, we come from different experiences and with different needs. When we come together for healing, we share ourselves with one another, and that is the greatest gift of all. While we leave the healing time and space with the same issues we brought with us, ironically, our own burdens seem lighter when bound together with those of others. When we come together in this time of pandemic, we have been constrained from physically reaching out. We must learn to share in this virtual space. May it still be the space for healing that we so need. When we come together for healing, may we become the tools, the source of support, encouragement, and hope for one another and for ourselves. Today, we call to memory specifically those whom we've lost most recently. Alina Abramova, Gloria Eisenberg, Jacqueline Antonovich, Margaret Arnold, Emily Arnold, Kenneth Ashton, Henry Baker, Agim Maoli, Norman Barrell, Albert Berry, John Bevis, Edward Bertel, Richard Berthier, Frank Birch, Therese Black, Cleveland Blair, Jacqueline Blois, Ida Blood, Evelyn Brault, Donna Brideau, Sandra Britt, Barbara Brunel, Richard Burke, Paul Carmody, Ralph Chase, Kurt Christensen, Evelyn Coggins, Diane Kopp, Concepcion Cruz, Mary D'Agostino, Nancy Davis, Michael Du Bois, Carol DeMoga, David DeSaro, Linda Forge, Clyde Desper, Conjeta Di Benedetto, Rose DeLeo, Mikhail Dementberg, Norman Dion, Michael Doney, Dolores Dorsey, Helen Demick, Ahmed Elmi, Charles Emerson, Frank Falcone, Francis Farrell, Susan Fleming, Kenneth Gallant, Nancy Gallo, Doris Garney, Elizabeth Gendron, Earl Graves, Joan Hamilton, Nancy Hanslip, John Hearn, Henry Hervey, Mary Hoy, Shirley Hoy, Carolyn Hussey, Susan Hutchins, Elizabeth Hutchins, Susan Johnson, Pauline Kennaway, Donald Kilbourne, Lucienne Laflamme, Rita Lausis, Neil Lesperance, Marilyn Levinson, Mary Lowry, Emmanuel Maggi, Manuel Martel, Yeva Mariakina, Gail Matson, Francis McCarthy, Kathleen McDermott, Madeline McGovern, Edmund McGovern Jr., Betty Maher, Edwin Melendez, Kenneth Michaud, Marilyn Miller, Helen Moore, Kenneth Morse, Leonore Moruzzi, Sharaban Malaj, Sean Noyen, Barbara Nickerson, James Needham, John Padone, Mary Pelletier, Rosalie Pelletier, Rita Perry, Joanne Phipps, Joan Polakowski, Robert Primmer, William J. Pulaski, Gavroche Khatibi, Susan Quinby, Ann Rossi, Richard Riscala, Barbara Roberts, Joseph Romano, Nellie Ross, Louis Roy Jr., Pauline Rubin, Claire Russell, Aphrodite Salvidio, Grace Sanchagrin, Ruth Santamore, Dennis Seeley, Virginia Shalali, Teresa Chimkowski, Leo Simmer, Philip Simmons, Paul Snow, Mary Sullivan, Carol Sullivan, Anita Sweeney, Thomas Tamara, Joan Troy, Solon Sandikos, Joan Turcotte, Patricia Uchsnyder, Barbara Valancourt, Mary Walsh, Paula Ward, James Ward, David Watson, Linda Welch, Jean Weldon, Bernice Wheeler, Robert White, Alfred Wichniak, and Gary Wilder. I'll now recite the traditional Jewish prayer of memory. El Malid Rachamim Shochem Ba'omim, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים, לנשמות יקירינו וקדושינו שהלכו לעולמם. ענה בעל הרחמים, הסתרם בצל כנפיך לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר Amen. God, filled with mercy, dwelling in the heavens heights, bring proper rest beneath the wings of your most imminent presence, amid the ranks of the holy and the pure, who illuminate the heavens, to the souls of our beloved and holy ones who went to their eternal place of rest. May you, who are the source of mercy, shelter them in the shadow of your wings eternally, and bind their souls among the living. The Lord is their inheritance. May they rest in peace. And let us together say, Amen.
We remember them. In the rising of the sun and its going down.
We remember them.
In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter.
We remember them.
In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring.
We remember them.
In the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of the summer.
We remember them.
In the rustling of leaves and in the beauty of autumn.
We remember them.
In the beginning of the year and when it ends.
We remember them.
When we are weary and in need of strength.
We remember them.
When we are lost and sick of heart.
We remember them.
When we have joys and special celebrations we yearn to share.
We remember them.
So long as we live, they too shall live. For they are part of us. We remember them.
Is it the wind over my shoulder? Is it the wind that I hear gently whispering, are you alone? There in the valley. No, not alone, for you walk with me. Is it the wind there over my shoulder? Is it your voice calling quietly over the hilltops, down in the valley? Never alone, for you walk with me. When evening falls and the air gets colder, when shadows cover the road I am following, will I be alone? There in the darkness, no, not alone, not alone, and I'll never be, never alone. You are walking with me. Is it the wind there over my shoulder? Is it your voice calling quietly over the hilltops, down in the valley? Never alone, for you walk with me. For over the hilltops, down in the valley, never alone, for you walk with me.
To offer some closing words. By Thich Nhat Hanh from the Buddhist tradition. This body is not me. I am not caught in this body. I am life without boundary. I have never been born, and I will never die. Look out at the ocean and the sky filled with stars. Look out at all my friends and descendants. All are manifestations of my wondrous mind. Since before time I have been free. Birth and death are only doors through which we pass. Sacred thresholds in our journey. Birth and death are a hide-and-seek game. So laugh with me. Hold my hand. Let us say goodbye. Say goodbye until we meet again. We meet today. We shall meet tomorrow. We meet in all the forms of life.
A reading adapted by Richard Fife. Memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find out what each of us alone must now become. Yet, no person is really alone. Those who live no more still echo within our thoughts and words, and what they did has become woven into what we are. We do best homage to those who have died when we live our lives fully, even in the shadow of our loss. So, when they are alone, they are with us, moving us to live as, in their higher moments, they themselves wish to live. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing.
So we've transitioned now to our memory garden. It's our custom in hospice each week to mention those who we've lost and to put aside a stone to remember them. Those stones then, with this ceremony, come to our memory garden. And stay here as a place where we can return to call to memory the blessing we've had in caring for so many. And God willing, when things open, as was in the past, others can come as well to call to memory those who've been lost. We place the stones gently and with reverence.
Someday I'll wish upon a star Wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, birds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow, why and oh why can't
When we first dedicated this garden, it was in the fall of the year, and we were surrounded by the beautiful colors of New England fall foliage, and talked about the combination of beauty that would be followed by decline, that would be followed by hope and rebirth. Now we're in the spring, and the trees are starting to bear the fruit of that hope and rebirth. As we leave this place of memory, may we all go forward, standing or carrying with us the hope that we've carried from those we've lost, and in that blossoming the things that we've gained from them in the world. Thank you all for joining us. May you be blessed.